Good morning, y'all. What's happening today? 24, start of a new week and the start of the volatility inflow. It's going to be a fantastic week. It's going to be a fantastic day. We have the start here of a week of NVIDIA earnings, Jackson Hole, jobs data, etc., and of course today, the old secretary comes out and starts yapping about the bonds. You're starting to see the chatter about the bond market peak back up, and it ebbs and flows. Sometimes the bonds go on a back burner. Sometimes they're front and foremost here in the conversations. And this week, definitely, they are rearing its head again as the yields continue to spike to new multi-decade highs. The 30 years at least, 10 years almost there as the bond market continues its 6-year bear market, historical bear market. So today at 2 p.m., Secretary Scott Bessent is going to be having an emergency press conference to discuss tapping into major liquidity to save the bond market and stop the yields from rocketing. So he said he's going to do, quote unquote, everything he can possibly do to keep the yields from going up and the bonds from going down. Now, if you're a follower of Michael Guyette of Lead Lag Report, he says that this falls exactly in line with saving the bond market or killing the stock market to save the bond market, tanking the stock market to save the bond market. Now, whether or not that will actually come to fruition and play out, who knows? But it's certainly looking like that may actually be the case. Have about a minute to open here. We have a downtrend morning here from 29,475 all the way down to 117 for about a 300 plus point sell-off. This is now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, 7th attempt to break under 29,200, which is looking more and more likely that we are going to absorb and go lower. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. Over on the S&P here, pretty much the same thing, into the 7,600 mark, plus or minus, más o menos. Overall in the daily charts, we're kind of facing this little minor downtrend here. Now, we got a couple of things here about 7,500 support. After that, it's down to the 7,300. The VIX, though, is going to be your main bread and butter this week. All eyes on the VIX this week. All eyes on the VIX this week. Are we absorbing or accumulating? Depends on the time frame you're looking at here. The fact that we have come down and rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, and then countless other times tonight, it depends on how we close this little range. If we can close over this little range, then yeah, we can look for more bottom. Like boom, man, look at that red candle. But the longer we stay in here without a bounce, the more likely it is absorption for lower price. And that is a tremendously red candle right here. Right here. What's up, Marcus? How you doing? Matam, how you doing? It's a different language. Don't speak that. Sorry. Anthony, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome. Massive, massive red candle right at the gate. 100-pointer in the first 5 seconds of the market. That's a lot. That's a lot. ES all the way down from 84 to 73. We have put selling, call selling. We have a tremendously red candle out of the gate. This is very, very red out of the gate here. We're already testing overnight lows right here in the first 5 seconds of the market. Down, down, down. Boom. Blasting right through. There's an overnight low touch at 118. An overnight low touch at 118. Someone put 8,000 calls. Someone knows something. Well, there's going to be. I'm very delicate to scream bullish, bearish this week. I will say extreme volatility inflow this week. That's something I'm very confident on, which should be pretty obvious. So we have, of course, NVIDIA on Wednesday. We have Jackson Hole, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the uncertainty with the old bond market coming in here. Muy interesante. Big old green candle so far. Right off the overnight low, which I love to scalp off these levels. I love scalping overnight low levels, baby. I love it. Delicious. Last night's price action was extraordinary. It's a rare time where overnight trading was amazing. From Asia open all the way into the wee hours in the morning, it was extraordinary. One of the few times that, we're kind of getting into things, and the times that I do trade the overnight session is going to be usually Sunday open because it brings a lot of volatility. And last night did not disappoint. It was extraordinary. Some of the best price action we've had in many, many months at the Sunday Open from terms of cleanliness. If you looked, we posted the 3C setups. They had a top wick 3C and a bottom wick 3C that were just beautiful. Couldn't be any more textbook. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come this week going forward. YM just rockets. What is YM? YM is the Dow. That is the Dow. Dow futures. NASDAQ, bottom wick still absorbing through this and plow right in the kissa. All the way down under 100. Looking left. There's nothing but a lot of open ocean here. We just left the old comfort of the shore, and we're heading out into the deep blue sea. 29,000 is the next target under this level. There's not a lot to stop this freight train from barreling down the tracks. Booyah. That is a massive sell already. Massive sell already. No buying the dip just yet. Now, this much red out of the gate. Yeah, we'll see. ES is coming down, 76.67, looking for 64. This much red out of the gate. We have a lot of call selling and put selling. Beautiful bottom wick again. Where are we going? Looking for the signs, baby. Looking for the signs. ES is 76.67. If we take this out, it's going to be another 100 points down on NASDAQ. Be patient. There's not a lot of news today whatsoever. Nothing at all, except for Scott. Good old Scotty McScotterson speaking this evening at 2 p.m. Or this afternoon, I'm sorry, at 2 p.m. There's a beautiful bottom wick. This has a setup for a bottom wick bounce. If they can get up right here, this has the setup for a bottom wick bounce. What's up, JJ? How you doing? How you doing? It's got to get a higher high. I like this little double bounce, little fish hook style setup. This looks like it has a probability for a bounce setup, especially that much red. That much red out of the open like that is typically giving an opportunity for a bounce play. Typically. It's very early in the day to get you at the 3C. If you confirm the 5-minute on the 3C right here, you have to get the day's highs to confirm. So obviously you don't want to do that. This is why in the first 15 minutes you have to play with smaller position sizing, because you have to trade off smaller time frames. And we have multiple bottom wicks into this 100 area. Here's one here. If we can get over about the 120 area, they'll probably come back up to about 160, 170, 180. There we go. There's a bottom wick. Can it hold? What's up, Tech Now? You got $900. Hey, $900 will pay the bills, homie. Will pay the bills. Hey, there's a lot of news coming out about the beef industry this weekend, too. Do y'all see this about the beef industry? 130, 140. There we go. There's our bounce coming up to 150. Where's the 50? Where's the 50? Right at 164 is going to be our 50% Fibonacci, if we can get it. $1 trillion treasury fund is going to be tapped in order to buy back bonds. $1 trillion with a T. With a T. The old silly trilly. To buy back bonds and stop the yields from rocketing. What's up, good Chirpy Mike? Another day of no trading to beat my addiction. There you go. That's the way to do it, baby. That's the way to do it. Well done. Another bottom wick again. Remember, today has very light news, except for Scott at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Another bottom wick. There we go. Another sweeping bottom wick up to 165. We have a little bit of 200 million worth of calls purchased and 40 million of puts purchased. Let's go look at the VIX. VIX is getting cranked again down to 15.79. They're trying to undo some of that red. Most of tech is deeply red. SanDisk and MU are down plus 5% or more. SpaceX, NVIDIA, AVGO, all deeply red. Tesla's red. We have a couple of minor green names. Meta, Microsoft are barely green. Apple's barely green. Google barely green. Amazon's up 1%. They're the winner for the day. Still getting cranked. It's going to be a fun week, man. A lot going on. This is going to be, in my opinion, the start of something different in the markets. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Something different than the past couple of weeks, which have been very slow. ES is getting red. NASDAQ just jumped. $29,071. After that, another 100 points. 29,000 is the last leg of defense here. After this, 29,000. No bueno. If you are tier 2, of course, especially the new people, please check out the weekly brief. I've posted my bias, write-ups, and thoughts on this week, this coming week. And, of course, the macro levels, which is, that's what pays the bills, right? Macro levels. Still dropping all the way over here. 29,000 next target. What's up, Nico? Good morning. Thanks for being here. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, please say hi in the chat. Come hang out with us. Don't be a lurker. Come out of the shadows. Come touch some grass in the chat. ES is still holding the lower range. NASDAQ is still kind of sliding a little bit lower. We have a tremendous amount of put buying in addition to call buying. Where are we going? Be patient. If it wasn't for NVIDIA earnings, I would be uber bearish this entire week. Uber bearish. Given by the daily chart setup, market conditions, the VIX mainly, volatility inflow, timing, seasonality, all things kind of align for bearishness here. All things look bearish. The option chain is primed for volatility. However, we all know how NVIDIA earnings can kind of throw things. Now, if you look at NVIDIA earnings, typically they're the close time frames after earnings does not perform very well. However, the AI trade is something that you rarely can bet against. Rarely can bet against. But Jackson Hole will certainly provide a lot of volatility. Another sweeping bottom wick right off 29.05. 29,000 is our main target here, but we're getting still more and more bottom wicks on the Uno time frame. What will they do? Starting January 1st, all tariffs on cars, trucks, large and small, and all automotive parts and steel will be increased to 50%. I know. We've been blessed with very cheap vehicle prices the past 5 years. Very cheap vehicle prices. But unfortunately, what they do, those prices have to start going up a little bit. We got to get the prices even higher just so we could kind of slow things down. We're winning too much. And prices of vehicles, we've been blessed with extremely cheap vehicles the past 3 years. So it's all right. Let's go. Make them high, baby. When your wife wants to buy a 8-year-old used soccer minivan for $110,000, just let her. Just let her. 110 grand is cheap for a minivan, for a used minivan. Just do it. All right, top wick back over 29.06. Soon we'll have subscription for cars. I love it. I love it. Subscribe to the Ford F-150 2026. What do you think Elise is? True. Touche. All right, still getting cranked. Here comes down to 29,000. And even then, 29,000 is not that big of a support, but that's the only one we have now. It's not the support we want, but it's the support we have. Rocking back over here. Very, very red open so far. We're already down about 300 points in the open, give or take, and still getting cranked. Come on down. These luxuries that we may just have to live without if we want to make Iran great again. Oh, I love it. Hey, that's a sacrifice I'm willing for you to make, right? All right. What's up, Nico? Good morning. Coming down 29,000 still. ES and NASDAQ both coming down big time. We have 8:43 Eastern Central Time, 9:43 Eastern Time. We got 9:45 coming up, and then, of course, the 10 o'clock shuffle. But this is very aggressive down. Very quick move down. 50% of the move up from July low was 28,770. Yeah, so that 50% on the macro is crucial. And we're still coming right on down, baby. Right on down. Now they're selling off every bit of the calls they purchased this morning. We have incredible put buying and now call selling. Still rocking and rolling, baby. Rocking and rolling. $29,000. This is a very aggressive move. Boom. Look at this selling. This is great. 29,000, baby. Liquidating. No volume spikes indicate continuation. Now look. This was that 29,000 mark, dude. Every single time. We had bounce, and then absorb breach, and then a couple of patterns that did not grab higher highs, and then down we go. So aggressive target to kind of play off of here. And it's a typical fish hook pattern. And then just wiping lower. 29,887 and rocking and rolling with volatility. First high volume spike of the day is right here on the downside. That's the first high volume spike of the day there at 944. What will it lead to? Hilarious 15-minute open candle. It's straight down, dude. It's straight down. $28,980, $985. What can it do? Every single instance of buying is absorbed and dropped. Every single one of them is absorbed like a sponge. And then going lower. 28,970, aggressive selling still. We're already down about 300 plus points from the open. There's no sign of stopping. It might give us a little 10 o'clock shuffle, but until then, it's straight down, baby. Yeah, MU and SanDisk are getting wrecked. They're down 10 plus % on SanDisk, dropping back over. Can we get a relief bounce at all? Maybe. If we've already gone through 945, I would love to continue to selling until 10 o'clock. Get a 10 o'clock bounce. Until then, man, it's just going down. Big green bounce so far. At this point, if we go down 200, just keep going. There you go. Yeah. Solara. Nice. A Toyota Solara. Nice. I like it, McGabagooley. 29,007. So far, the most bullish candle of the day. So far. Gold needs to be on your priority list this week. They're going to go berserk with all the news of inflation and all that stuff, especially if you're going to pull another T out, another trillion. What goes next? Do our kids start to talking about what comes after trillion? Quadrillion? Do our kids start to talk about the economy in terms of quadrillion? Trillion is going to be a thing of the past. Large daily gaps on SPY and QQQ. Yeah. Good morning, all. I sideline this move. We'll look for volume. I like it. NVIDIA's getting rocked. SanDisk, MU, all getting rocked. Nice mojo. $50. Right there. 28,770 is 50% of the July 30th to August move. I like it. I like it. 28,770 is right there. That's a 50% right there. First good bottom wick of the day. We had a decent one this morning, but this one is definitely a lot better. But can it hold? Can it hold? Potential reversal in Hero? Yeah, a lot of call buying and put selling right now on the Hero. Will it translate? Will it translate? We are starting the next $1,200 cash giveaway in the Discord. We made that live on Friday. Make sure that you go sign up if you want to be a part of that. Get your accounts in. You have until Friday to get your accounts activated. And then we're going to be ready to go. Kicking off and seeing what we can do. Have you already had the drawing? I have not. Just because I've been having issues. There was an error that the accounts to give away were not loaded into my affiliate channel, so I had to get with the support, and they finally loaded them in. So I'll be able to draw and give those accounts away. Major 1K on SPX. Nice, Steve. That'll pay the bills. That'll pay the bills. 29,900. They just launched zero DTE call buying. Zero DTEs. $29,990. I went into Publix this weekend to get a sandwich because we were at sports games all weekend, and they had American-grown, organic, non-GMO grass-fed beef for 50% off. But buy one, get one free. I bought 65 pounds of it. It was for $6 a pound after the deal. It came out to $6 a pound, which is a steal for that kind. So I was like, hey, we're going to buy it anyway. We might as well just go ahead and get as much as we can now. So I loaded up a whole cart of it. Usually it was $12 a pound for that. It was $85.15. $85.15. We go through a lot of beef, so it was great. Beef is king, dude. It is. 28.9. Let's go to the 5-minute. Getting ready for that barbecue. Yeah, we eat a lot. We go through a lot of beef. I've got 2 growing boys, and not to mention I eat a lot of beef. I mean, that's only like 2 months worth of beef. So Aldi has individual pack. Yeah, I saw that. The only problem with that, Walker, it's from Venezuela. I used to get a lot of Aldi's meat like that, but it's from Venezuela. This beef was from Maryland, United States. Estados Unidos. Plus, I read those comments from Trump, and it scared the crap out of me. So it's one of the reasons I made the decision to buy it. All right, NASDAQ is down to 28,900 here. It looks like we're going to fail again. We do have the highest volume candle of the day right now, and if you're a 3C player, which I hope you are being here, where does the volume come in at on the 1 minute? Right there. So that tells you here that this is a support. If the buyers fail this red level, then we are going down to the macro 50%. Come on, baby. I had Claude take strategies I'm going to use for options funding prop firm and turn into a playbook. So here's a file. Thanks. Hey, appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Ribeye is $26 a pound. Pork is my new beef. Dude, chicken is my new beef. I don't think you can ever, like, if you ever get in a fight with someone on the streets, I don't think you can say, man, hey, you got beef? You want beef? It's too expensive nowadays. You can be like, hey, man, why you got so much chicken with me? New low of the day. I got chicken breast with you. That's right. Why are you porking with me? Oh, that is funny. That is funny. That is funny. Insect protein. Yeah. Don't. Oh, man. Still defending here. We have fun. We have fun. Now can we make money and have fun? That's the question. 7 minutes. Raccoon meat. Don't fall for the ribeyes on the truck scam. Yeah, tell me about it. 3C on gold. Let's take a look, man. I want gold to be in my cross check heavily this week. And I know I pretty much say that every week, and I never do it, but definitely this week. And I think gold is going to put on a monster green candle this week with all the inflation stuff and everything going on. So that's correct. So the macro 50 is 28,770 right here. We're having a good time. 5 minute. $10 bag of chicken wings for $6. Yep. I'm about to move my next batch of chickens out to pasture, and we're about to get another batch of chicks to replace them in the brooder. Cranking them out, baby. So on the 5 minute, if we can get over 29,003, we'll have a 3C. That will be a 5 minute 3C. At which point we'll target the 50% of the 5 minute range, which will be right here at about 105. So you'll have about 100 points, give or take, más o menos, to get a trade on, which is not too shabby. 100 points on NASDAQ is quite good. Yeah, buddy. We have virtually no liquidity on the book. It's extremely light on ES. If we go look at NASDAQ, I mean, all we've really got here is 29.2 and 28.9, but it's all very light. All very light. Another bottom wick. It's failing the 3C trigger. It's failing the 3C trigger. What's up, Salim? How you doing? What's up, Ramos? Good morning. 29,013. Canada will be treated like a state no longer. Yeah. Can you please determine how you? Can you please explain how you determine that volume candle that came in at 979? Is it because the candle was engulfed? So when I see volume come in, like we saw here at 9:44 Eastern time, I track the bottom of that candle. Where the volume came in at was right here at 9.7, which is the bottom of this candle. So I plot that level. Now remember, Anna Coling talks about is that support and resistance levels are not made out of concrete or glass; they are rubber. Those levels have defense, and it's because of the way the order book works. You're going to stack liquidity, not necessarily at a particular level. You're going to stack it in a range. So right now you have the 976 support. It bounced again to defend, and now we're holding here, and our 3C long trigger is right here at 29025. 29025 will get us back up to the 50 of 0 or 100. Those 767 calls hit for 200% Friday. Nice, Salim. Well done, buddy. You're welcome, Mike. You're welcome. Is this the 1 minute chart? This is the 1 minute chart, yes. So if you go over the 5, this is where we get the 5 minute confirmation of 025, which is right here. And they're about to break it. They're pounding the calls like nobody's business. And then once they do that, we're going to be launching up into the 50, which is let's call it 100, 290-100. But they have put on about 1 billion in calls here. They're pumping calls. We have liquidity to 200. Still rejecting the 50 or the trigger. Still 1025. There's put, selling, call, buying at the moment. Looking at the S&P, they're right on top of their 50%. They're holding right at their 50 at 76.68. Still right here. So I'm going to put a line right there too. The 3C trigger is right there. And you see they're defending the crap out of it. So it tells me that we have a good trigger to go off of here. So we've identified a beautiful little absorption range down at this area. If we clear this 2903, that's when we're going to start attacking the 50. And then if we attack the 50, then we can analyze if they're going all the way back up. Nancy Pelosi has invested $12 million in Bloom Energy. The ticker is BE, Bravo Echo. 10,000 shares into $1 million to $5 million stakes, and then additional call options. Bravo Echo. I'm seeing a lot of upper individuals positioning themselves in energy plays. First we had and now we've got BE. Kind of makes you want to say Now all we need is a ticker called na that is in energy, and we're good to go. I give you all comedic gold. What would be the optimal stop loss in the case of long is triggered? The optimal stop loss on this area, which is a great question, is any kind of low or low. So anything under the 29,950 is pretty much where I would stop out if you get into a position. But it also depends on where you get your entry too. If you get a very advantageous entry, then you need to be a little more lax with that. But right now, we still don't have a trigger yet. They're still defending this 29.03, which tells you how aggressive the sellers are at this 2.5 area. They're doing almost the same thing they did on Friday. Aggressive sell out of the gate, and then they're going to make the buyers sweat before they absolutely rocket this thing all the way back up like they did Friday. Massive buy up on Friday after the morning red. And it appears they're setting up for a same thing. It's, obviously to be determined. Hey, big red. Obviously to be determined if they're actually going to bounce it or not. And they just collapsed the price action all the way down after rejecting. Huge sell just came in. It was a tape bomb. We just had another tape bomb, which is the second one we've had today. Yemen attacks a vessel off Saudi Arabia. No, that can't be it. That was 10 minutes ago. Huge tape bomb. It's the second one we've had today. But do you see the power in identifying where these 3Cs are, where these pivots are, to tell you, hey, the market is not wanting 0.2503, and we just dump 100 points off this level. And now they're going to smoke it down to 28,000 and possibly even come down to the macro. I mean, an extraordinary sell-off. An extraordinary dump off these 3C pivots. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. After about a year of learning how to trade, I finally have enough over a funded buffer to take a payout. Big thanks to OM and the whole community. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Thanks, Steve, Paul, Pablo. Awesome stuff, man. Congratulations. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. And rocking and rolling, baby. Rocking and rolling. Big red still coming down. This should get us going, baby. That was an extraordinary sell. Now, it's still defending this little micro range down here. It's still holding inside this range, but that is not a good look for the buyers. Seeing aggressive sweeping candles off rejections is not a good look for the buyers. They're doing the same thing they did on Friday. Same thing they're doing on Friday. If we fail the day's lows, it'll be fun. But right now we're still defending the low. We're still defending this lower range right here. So it ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal yet. Ain't no big deal yet. Bottom wicket. So far they are. It's here. The last time we had a tape bomb, they bounced it and went higher. They just did it again. And this candle reaction will be very telling. ES hanging out just fine right at the 50%. NASDAQ is defending these lower ranges. If they do give out this low here at about 29,940, it's going to get spicy very quick. That'll be it. The morning defense at 10 o'clock is very key for the buyers. They can't give that up. Otherwise, it'll be we'll face a pretty intense downtrend here today. There's massive top wick again. There we go. Flip that green to red. The sellers today are strong, 100%. The 50%, the trigger for longs is orange line. The sellers are in complete control under this orange line right here. Complete control. What's up, Idun? If you want to start learning on the YouTube channel, I'd recommend the 4 main 3C videos, which is the first one is a summary video, and the next 3 are the individual components of the 3Cs, which is the first, second, and third video. So watch those, and then of course I've got hundreds of videos about all sorts of trading content, all free on there. So just go through, watch the ones that are most pertinent to you, and then kind of expand from there. Ask questions here on the stream. Shoot me a DM if you like. Join the Discord. It'd be another great opportunity. And then, of course, just trade, man. Live trading and getting in there. That's how you do it. Waiting to take your first trade. Nice, Pine Beach Dan. The NASDAQ liquidity is up to 200 and down to 825. 28,825. 825 would put us way on down, and the buyers are struggling. 700 Qs is 3 points away. I think we would fall, but it would be a great entry. I think so too. If we give out this support, that is an incredibly strong component for the sellers, and it's going to go down. It's going to repeat. It's going to copy and paste the opening 3 5-minute candles and paste it here. It's going to go blip, 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 all the way down, just like that, with those sound effects too. You'll have those sound effects too. What's up, Mojo? I don't see any cause for that tape bomb anywhere that just happened in terms of news. So I think that was just simply a sell order, which makes this even stronger. It makes this even stronger. Top wick on the 5. Nancy Pelosi bought 15,000 shares of Bloom Energy and 10,000 shares of Intel, plus additional call options on both. She's aggressively long on INTC and BE. Do you think she's going to lose? No. NVIDIA states that AI server prices are going to rocket more than 15% in the coming weeks as shortages expand. They're about to give it up. 29.9, 28.9, here we come. They're about to give it up, baby. They're about to give it up. Oh, man. We're stuck. The buyers can't make it happen. 28.9's coming. 28.9's coming. You're about to see one of these. Blip. Right here. Your 4090 is worth 4K. It's crazy, man. My 5090 GPU is now up to $5,000. That's insane. Everything. Every single thing. You know what the only thing that's actually gone down in price? TVs. How does that make any sense except for the fact that they want you to plant your butt in front of the TV and veg out and just completely go comatose? They want you to be just a taxable asset. That's it. So make TVs nice and cheap so you can watch your sports ball in your Netflix and your Game of Thrones, while everything else just burns down around you. It's like sitting in a house that's burning down and you don't care because you're distracted, but everything is burning around you. Go get yourself a nice 98-inch TV for $150 at Costco while you stuff GMO chemical-laden food down your pie hole and pay $110,000 for a 10-year-old used minivan. And then go get your Shine Box. Hey, but you can get yourself $1.50, $1.50 hot dog at Costco. You can. Absolutely. Anyway. All right, so here we go. Coming down to 28,900. It's going. It's going. Twinkies? Heck yeah, man. The sellers are fading. That was aggressive high-volume candle rejection off of the 50%, and now we're going on down. 28,900, and then after that, we're going to start attacking the 50. They're not buying puts. They're not selling calls. Well, maybe a touch, but not very much at all. This is straight just selling on down. ES top wick off the 50. Can't hold a 50 whatsoever. I saw that, man. That's awesome. I'd love to get that. It's pretty cool. TV is getting information from your phone and computer and blasting your face. Yeah. That hot shot joke was fire. Love Costco, yeah. It's like you see someone post on Facebook, hey, does anybody have any recommendations for a new TV show to watch? I've already watched them all on Netflix. Like, if you already watched all the good shows on Netflix, what are you doing with your life? $29.28 here, back and forth. They're still defending. We're still technically inside the lower range. There's nothing here. All longs should still be intact. I'm currently sitting on no positions. They're doing almost exactly the same thing they did on Friday. They're making the buyers sweat. They're making the buyers sweat. Vampire life isn't fun. I don't know what that means. What's up, Aaron? Ron, how you doing? Wilson recently came back. When can you please explain why you changed from SPX to option traded NASDAQ futures? I didn't change. I still do both, and I don't think any one of those is better than the other. I don't think options are better than futures or futures are better than options. I think all of those, NASDAQ, SPX, options, futures, I think they're all tools in a toolbox, and I think you need to master all of them. There are times to go aggressive on SPX options. There's times to go on NASDAQ futures and back and forth. I trade a lot of futures nowadays because I am trading prop firms in addition to my IBKR. So, of course, now up until recently, we now have an options firm. We now have an options-based prop firm, which is new. So, it's back and forth. Now, there's another bottom wick here. I've got your two levels delineated. Look what happened. And here's a good live example of 3 C's and how they're so powerful to identify volume. The first C, in my opinion, is the most important C of the 3. The first volume candle is the most important C of the criteria of the 3 criterias. And this is a perfect example as to why. So what happens? Volume comes in. Let's go to the 1. Volume comes in the highest volume candle of the day at 944. The bottom of that candle is plotted with the red line here at 28,976. What happens on the 5-minute price action confirmation from here on out? Every single time we trickle below 28,976, we get a bottom wick. Boom, 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 boom. And we're defending. So that gives us the support, and this keeps you from shorting the hole. If you're someone who likes to like, oh, there's a bunch of red, let me short, and then you get bounced like a jabroni, this can help you stop doing that. Do you have problems shorting the hole? Use the 3 C's. 28,976 here. Now, if they do give out and close a 5-minute candle without a bottom wick under 976, that will be your indication to finally start shorting the hole and come down to 29,000, 28,900, and then the macro 50% at 770. Right there. But until then, the buyers are maintaining this range, and we just had another top wick. And if they close a 5-minute candle down here without bottom wicking at all, that'll tell you we've absorbed all the buying. The buyers are now left. They've stepped out, got themselves a little hot dog and a drink from Costco for $1.50, maybe a slice of pizza, and it's time to come down. Now, the upside trigger is this golden line, 29,025. Three C's in a nutshell, live right there. We'll do it live. There's another bottom wick under 28,976. What can they do? So based on all this red, where do you think your stop loss needs to be for long positions? This is like one of those critical thinking questions from school. Exactly. Under these lows, let the market tell you when it's wrong. Hey, finally. They've extended the 50% until tonight. So tonight at 11:59 Pacific time, you'll have to get the 50% off on Take Profit Trader. They said it's a possibility they might extend it for another 24 hours. They'll be extended for another week. I hope they do extend it for another week, man. It's a great price. I bought another 5 just to lock in pricing, baby. Just a lock in pricing. Housing market just keeps getting worse and worse. All expected the economy seeming in the process of deterioration. When will it come to a head and what will break first? You're exactly right. The housing market is deteriorating big time. Big time. Every metric of the housing market, even in my market, one of the hottest markets in the country, is sliding. Sliding. That's correct, Burning Phoenix. That's correct. For a 5-minute confirmation, do you wait until it closes to enter? Sometimes it extends the majority of the move that you're trying to capture before confirming the reverses. Not necessarily. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. That third C is difficult to kind of say. It's not gray and black and white. It's not completely clear all the time. Sometimes you have to wait for closing. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes there's certain conditions. All I'm doing now is I'm identifying the environment. What's the environment right now? The environment so far is buyers holding these two lines. The buyers are holding the golden line and the red line, the support, the resistance. And these are the lines that I don't really want to do much touching here as long as you stay inside these lines. If we come back down and finally close a 5-minute under this red line, then we are going down to 900 and below. And if we close the golden line, then we're at least going to attack the 50% of 097.5. So those are the levels that I am looking for back and forth. Here's a monster green candle. Can we close the golden line? Can we close the golden line? That's the question. If you do, we're going up to the 50. But until then, you don't want to get hung up on bullish or bearish just yet. Like if they smoke this green candle, I'll probably start shorting the hole. If they smoke this green candle, I'll start shorting the hole. If not, bias only, bull bias only, bullish bias only, until they smoke this move. We have call buying, put selling. Call buying, put selling. How you doing? Go get your shine box. Hey, if this thing goes at the 50, I'm getting my shine box. I'm going to shine my shoes because I'm going to take the wife out to a seafood dinner. I won't have to call her again because she lives with me. I never talk to her on the phone anymore. 29030. Can they do it? Here's another attack. Here's another attack of the golden line. The golden line will be golden metaphorically and literally. Literally on our charts, golden metaphorically for your accounts if this rockets. Can they do it? Here's another rejection. Here is another rejection. Well, what will they do? Tiger Woods to win the Masters on the 18th hole. He's got a 5-foot putt for par. Let's watch. They have call buying. They have put selling. The crowd goes quiet with anticipation. Massive red rejection so far on the top wick. Already eating up 50% of the candle. Tiger Woods magically managed to get to the course today without having an accident and rolling his vehicle. Can he sink this putt to win the Masters? Another screaming top wick, baby. We have identified some pretty keen pivots here. All the way down. Look at that. All the way down. If they smoke this green candle, it'll be time to start shorting the hole. Or a Subway chick. It's like, geez Louise, man. Come on, Subway. That was back in the $5 footlong era too, right? Best feeling is smashing the 7-iron 190 yards and hearing the ball sail in the wind. I like it. You must be a poet. That's a very, yeah, I like it. You're long from 985. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Sweeping rejection off the golden line. And now if they take out the red, it's time to short the hole. You will be a good sportscaster. I'll take that job. Sweeping rejection off the golden line. Coming down. Boom. Next up, 28.9. If they take this out, it's going down. That was an incredibly strong pump and dump for more sell-side liquidity. 29.030 is incredibly strong, and we just had a crazy rejection off of it to the tune of about 60 points. As quickly as it went up, it came screaming back down, and if we close under the red, it's time to start shorting the hole. We will see. Overhead supply, baby. Yeah. What can they do? You gonna eat your cornbread? Sonic messaged me again. Why is Sonic messaging me? Have you watched DJ Shipley's podcast? I have not. I have not. 28990 right here in the middle. Right here in the middle. Getting hyped for the 5 Cs and the crowd goes mild. Yeah, closing your iron condors. Initial credit was $320 per contract. $210 to trade. $210 to exit. Max 34% max credit. Nice. I like it, Mojo. I like it. Another bottom wick off the red line. Another bottom wick off the red line. All I see on the options chain is call buying, put selling. The options chain on the 0DT scale is bullish. It is not bearish. And there's another bottom wick. They're going level to level here. This is an amazing representation of the 3C live in your face. Live in your face. Can you send another email to SpotCam about the hero? Yeah. What's going on? What do you want me to send them? Live in your face right here. See, most people would be plotting simply the low of the day, which is important. Don't get me wrong. That is my first hour range, but that would be the only thing they plot. That would be the only thing they plot. Why do I have that red line there? Because volume. If you're not tracking volume, you would not be plotting a line at 976. 976. There's another big bottom wick. Ooh, I need to burp my peppers. I need to make a note. I don't want to hear an explosion in the middle of the day. I'm fermenting a big old thing of Tabasco peppers to make my own sauce. Where can I find the $1,200 TPT challenge giveaway, or is that for tier 2 only? You need to sign up on the new website. I only made it for the new website people, so I can get people to switch over. Burp your peppers. What does that mean? So you put peppers in a jar with brine, and then you put the top on it, and you set it out for like 2 weeks to ferment. But every day you've got to just undo the top and let the gas out, because fermenting peppers creates gas and it'll explode if you don't open the top every now and then. Now they do make tops that go ahead and does that for you. I just don't have them because I'm too cheap to go on Amazon and buy them. Another big bottom wick. Can we take out the golden company here at 29,030? Hope that's all. Yeah, thanks, Bernie. Appreciate it. That's why you said burp. There you go. Just opening the lid, yeah. Does the same thing to my stomach. I like it. I got one going with chocolate habaneros. Dude, do you eat those? Can you handle that kind of sauce? I can't handle that kind of sauce. I can't do it. They put it in barrel for 5 years. Wow. That's pretty awesome, OF. I've grown Carolina Reapers before just for the novelty of it, and I've tried one. No thanks. 29,003. Now we're finally going. If we could take this out, you will have a quick 100 pointer up to the Fibonacci 50. What can we do, people? I just walked you through this whole thing. What are we doing? What are we doing? If we can close this candle right here, we'll get the 50. Can we close this candle right here and grab the 50? This is muy importante. I think they're going to do it. Can they do it? Tiger Woods has hit the putt. The putt's rolling towards the hole. He's chipped it off the green on number 16 in 2005 at Augusta National. He needs this putt to secure par to move on to win the tournament. Or this chip, I'm sorry. Just got here, but on the trade NASDAQ. That's okay. Yeah, this is important right here. So entry for the 3C should only be off the 5. Well, that's correct, but this is going to extend very quickly to the 50% once it closes this. So you have to make that choice. Now that we've gotten over the gold, next stop is going to be the 50. And why is that? Like, why am I even thinking that? It's because I don't care about candles. I care about the order book. Buyers and sellers, sellers and buyers. Now that we've gotten over this golden line, what does that tell me simply from a very basic buying and selling standpoint? The sellers are gone. And now the buyers are about to sit down like your fun uncle who's letting you take a drive in his 1969 Mustang. He's like, hey, man, come on. Let me show you how fast this bike can go. And he's flicking a heater out of the window, and he's going to stomp the gas pedal. And up to 29,100. The fallen Halloween decor is up in the house. Oh, you lost the battle with the wife. Yeah. It's almost time. All I ask for the wife is that we have to get out of the 80-degree temperatures before we start putting up fall decorations. Like, I need to see some chill in the air before I can start putting up pumpkins. Anyway, here we go. We got over the golden line. Now we're coming up to 29,100. Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'll do your bidding and make you mine, oh mine. That's what I was. Yeah, 100%, man. All right, 065. Now we're coming up to 100. I let the lines make my decision for me. Make the lines make your decision for me. Massive green candle. Now we're coming up to the 50. I'm trying out CrossFit Mayhem's training for the next couple of months. Last week was week 1. You do Mayhem? Yeah, so far I like it. I like it. There we go. 074 up to 100. Nope. 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 29080. Beautiful. Almost to the 50. Once we took out the golden line. All the way up. I explained this abundantly. If you have any questions, let me know. I use volume and price, baby. Volume and price. Did I do Fridays? I did do Fridays. But I did the blending program. I do the strength WOD programming blend. I'm not doing competitions or nothing. So all I'm trying to do is... I'm good at strength training, but I don't want to think about creating WODs, so I just have them do it for me. That's why I signed up. Plus, it's like $14 a month, man. That's crazy. All right, up to, can we get the 50 of 096? That's the goal. In fact, let's get super accurate here. 095. Isn't it amazing, dude? Isn't it amazing? Will it stop at the 50? I don't know. I don't try to think about what it could do. I try to think about what it will do when it gets there. Like an if-and statement. If this, then that. If that, then this. All the way up. Once we get here, 29072, we're coming up to 50%. If you like what you see, please hit that like button. And, of course, consider subscribing. For only $1 a day, you can support a struggling trader. In the arms of an angel. What fib do I use? I just use the basic 50% Fibonacci. It's the basic tool in TradingView. What I do is I go through and change the settings where it blocks out everything except the 50. All I care about is the 50, which is plotting right now here at 094. We broke the golden line, and now up there, boom, Yahtzee. I wish I could play sound effects. One day I'll have a stream deck so I could play sound effects. Right here to 095. TP popped. Yahtzee. 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 You get a lot of things when you join the OM community. You get price action, you get VPA, you get beautiful price action analysis, and you get a little comedy on the side. It's beautiful stuff. You might be the oldest non-paying supportive fan here. You need to come hang out, Salim. You need to come hang out. You need to come hang out. Not much comedy. No volume spike? Yep. So no volume spike, which means I'm not looking for an extremely strong rejection off this. Maybe a couple of little top ticks here, but not a lot of volume on the top tick, so that's fine. We have volume, high volume bottom wick, which is the highest volume candle of the day. And I'm looking for volume here to consider a top tick. But I already hit my price target here. So, from here, everything beyond this is a gravy train with biscuit wheels. I'm not gunning for high of the day. I'm gunning for the 50. And if we claim the 50 and go back up, that's icing on the cake. Gravy train with, speaking of which, sidebar, I don't understand that icing on the cake or whatever. Like, who's going to eat cake without icing? Like, are you going to bake your kids a cake for their birthday? Like, here, kids, here's a dry loaf of cake. No, you expect to have the icing too, right? Anyway, the point is that, so what do you do for birthdays? Do you just have cake? Like, dry cake? Have some sweet sponge, kid. Oh, man. Or flan, maybe flan for the people of the south of the border. So, yeah, my first target was the 50%. And then once they claim that, high of the day. Dulce de leche. Oh, yeah, I love some dulce de leche. Dulce de leche. Fun fact, a lot of people think if you take condensed milk and boil it in the can that you're actually making caramel. You're not. You're making dulce de leche. Caramel is actually derived from caramelizing sugar. What size TPT counts do I like? I prefer the 150s personally. However, they're all good. They're all good. All counts for the TPT are good. It's based on what you like to see. Pick an account that uses an appropriate position sizing that ties in with what your eye likes to see. I prefer the 150s. I do very well with them. Even with the larger buffer, I prefer those. Oh. Tres leches? Ooh, tres leches is good. Yeah. See. So this should be a little pullback. Should? Meh. Could be. I mean, you usually see some sort of activity at the 50, but I don't want to use the word should. If we're splitting hairs here. I love me some tiramisu, yeah. That's what my wife makes for parties, tres leches. Everyone's always begging her to bring it. How many micro minis do I typically trade on 150 account? If I'm funded and fully up to my 2x buffer, I'm trading anywhere between 1 to 3 minis. 1 to 3. Unless I've got a massive buffer at which I do something stupid and I'm trading full port position sizing, which is of course terrible. So, but if I'm still in the eval phase, 1 to 2 minis, 1 mini, 5 to 10 micros in that area, depending on confidence. Once I'm funded, I'm not build a buffer about 1 mini most of the time. Usually I kind of stick with 1 mini with the 150s. Look at the volume on the Qs. Why is it different than the NASDAQ? I don't know. I mean, sometimes you're going to have some volume anomalies like that. No pullback on Friday. They extended the crap out of it. Well, they did pull back on Friday in the morning, and then they launched it. Now they're doing pretty much the same thing, and we've come up to the 50, and we've cleared the golden line here at 030, and we attack the 50 with the most modest of top ticks. And then once they claim this, guess what? You're about to have the cake and the icing, up to 29,243. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, Miss Piggy, can I have that green candle? All the way up. 29,243. We getting paid, baby. We getting paid. I had some Mexican the other night for the birthday party. Got some cowboy fajitas. Steak, chicken, shrimp, onions, peppers, tomatoes, guac, salad, rice, beans. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're climbing, baby. Now we're climbing. Finally green. Nice, Salim. Beautiful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's keep it going. 1.4 billion in calls purchased. 25 million in puts sold. The option chain is bullish. The room is bullish. Bulls are bullish. And we're up and away. I'm going to hit the 50% max on TPT eval. Nice routine. I like it. I like it. I know OM only looks at the 50, but 61.8 and is 29,129. Okay, thanks, Phil. Appreciate you, baby. What was the red and gold line down towards the bottom? Was that the orb? Negative. That is the red line is the point at which volume comes in, the volume support, volume-based support, which I need a VPS. I need to create a VPS indicator. Volume-based support. We just created something different. VPS. What's the VPS for today? 28,976. Volume came in at 9:44 Eastern Time. That's the highest volume candle of the day. So you plot a line where the volume comes in. Now, what happens on the Cinco every single time the price action touches 28,976? Bottom wing, 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 bottom wing. And then what do? We launch. I mean, I know I'm only a noob here, but I think from what the books say, that does kind of look like accumulation. And then once we get over the golden line of the breakage of this resistance, it's all the way up, baby. All the way up. Would I be ready to start trading my first eval account after just watching your 3C videos? I don't know that. I can't answer that question because trading is more than just simple technical knowledge. And the more you trade, the more you learn that. That's why, I'm very, I could tell by people's conversation and what they say on whether or not they're legit and how long they've been trading. If you believe that trading is only 100% technical and the more you learn, the better you are, then I know you're full of doo-doo. Because you have to know thyself. I'm pretty sure Sun Tzu said something like that. The Art of War could be a trading book. Because you have to know yourself before you know trading. You have to know, how do you react when things go against you? Do you break keyboards and punch monitors? Do you scream at your kids? Then, most likely, you probably have an inability to manage your trades and yourself. So I can't tell you if you're ready to start trading. Only you can tell you that. Not anymore. Do you take out your insecurities on your family from trading? My doctor recommended a couple of beers. You were wrestling my dog. Only one they deserve. Yeah, I know that saying. I am Chinese. Oh, hey, we got some Chinese people in the server. You should come hang out. Ni hao. We have all sorts of walks of life on the server, and we all get along, baby. We all get along. What's a Greek saying? Hey, we're not philosophers here, J-Dog. We're just humble traders. I mix and match what I can. I close the broker and go for a walk and spot some animals. Nice. Linda Rasky just posted last night. She's 100% technical. I did see that, but that's not what she means. She means she doesn't analyze fundamentals. like investors are going to analyze balance sheets and stuff. That's what she means. She wasn't talking about emotional. If you read her book, you know that she very much knows that you have to manage the mental. Which, by the way, I highly recommend that book as well, which is called Trading Sardines. Linda Raschke wrote a book called Trading Sardines. It's kind of a quasi-trading book. It's more about her story intertwined with some trading stuff, which is actually a very good read. But yeah, I know what she meant. I saw that. She actually had to retire for a little bit because she had adrenal gland fatigue from the emotional toll on trading. So anyway, good. Read the book. Good book. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. Definitely, Phil. All right, we are absorbing here. No rejection, no lower lows. This is all up, baby. And once we claim the 50, guess what? Guess what? High of the day, baby. I'm giving you the script. Got it. Good read. Yes, sir. By the way, if I am somehow who plans to only trade 1 to 1.5 hours per New York opening due to living in Singapore, is this particular situation... Wait, you're in China right now? Is it in this particular situation we experienced? Should I just close my laptop? Well, again, that's up to you. I stopped trading at about 11 o'clock Eastern time. 11:30 Eastern time is when I'm done, and I don't trade the afternoon. I will pick back up in like the last hour of the New York session, but that's pretty much when I stop trading. So I would kind of to turn that to you. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. You're right. I guess it depends on who you ask, Phil, but yeah, 100%. I see your point. What I meant to say is you're not in the United States. I don't know if you're like Chinese heritage and living in the United States. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I asked that because yeah, never mind. That reminds me of the testimony from the TikTok guy. Yeah, so I like to stop trading after 11 o'clock, 11:30 Eastern time. I see what you're saying. Okay, very cool, man. Very interesting. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Certain circumstances, maybe, but yeah. So I do believe that time constraining your trading system will greatly help you lead to profitability. Instead of sitting here all day looking for setups, define your trading system based on time frames of what you do well at, and experiment. Try to do the Asian Open, try to do the London Open, try to do the New York Session Open, and see which one works for you. Some people trade the Asia Open very well, some people trade the London Open very well, and some people trade the New York Open very well, maybe all three. So kind of carve out what you can do. When you have the ability to trade hours that I wouldn't be able to trade, being on different parts of the world, different times, you can pay attention more to different markets that I could because I'm sleeping, whereas you will be awake. How was Yosemite? Yeah. Given my trading habits, I'm starting to feel like I should only trade 10:30 to 1 o'clock. I always lose in the morning, getting back midday. See, I'm the opposite. If I trade after 11, I typically give everything back. So no bueno. Not to mention, you know what we're getting close to? We're actually getting close to the fall weather, and that is my favorite time. My favorite time. So more, I'll be doing a lot more running. Doing a lot more outside work. Yeah, I can't wait. A lot of motivation not to be at the desk at 1 p.m. I'm carried away holding positions, wishing for more green. Don't do it. Let the price action based on VPA make your determination, not you. If you're hoping and wishing for more, that's probably a sign that you need to get out of the trade. For me, sitting for hours led to mental fatigue, which leads to poor decision making. You're 100% right, Will. That's Hill. That's 100% right. Oh, Will. I guess Hill will. 100%. Sitting here all day long, looking and analyzing moves will blow your mental capacity out. You'll completely have fatigue. Your eyes will hurt. You'll be depressed and exhausted. Don't do it. Don't do it. These are very high level. This is very high level, in the kind of high numbers stuff, numbers. So it's no good, man. That's right. Yep. Yeah, I stopped trading after 11 because of personal preference. Yep. I don't do well with the price action. Chatting with Claude too much will do the same thing. The only thing I don't like about Claude is too much of a yes man. Everything I tell it to do, all corrections to make it. It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. Let's do it this way. It's like, come on, Claude, be less of a yes man. I need you to give me some crap. Tell it to do something. It's like, no, Andrew, you're stupid. Like, I'm Claude for a reason. You're not. Listen to me. Be brutally honest. Yeah. Act like my dad when I was 12 and I couldn't hit the strike zone for nothing. Tell me I suck. Scream belligerent insults at me from the dugout. So does this mean the live stream is ending soon? In about 37 minutes, yes. I'm doing what you're talking about, and I'm taking Thursdays, Fridays, literally brain dead is antisocial. Trying to change it definitely. Is a gold 3C indicator incoming? Let's take a look. Ooh, so what do we see here with gold? Multiple bottom wicks, right? With volume. So this looks like accumulation for gold. I could see this start and turn into another test of 47.35. That is bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick, baby. Can they do it? There's an excellent ADHD fix for that chat model. Pretty much how my dad coached Little League Baseball and bowling. Hey, I was in Little League Baseball and bowling. Sounds a lot like my stuff. I was a geek bowler, for sure. Tell Claude to be your sparring partner. Hey, have you seen what the Chinese are doing with the robots? Pretty soon that's going to be a reality. You could actually spar with Claude because of these robots. I don't know if you listened to the new Joe Rogan with Annie Jacobson, but she was talking about how she was able to classify info AI by doing something. Really? So you're saying the AI has ego? Gold is bouncing, baby. Guess what NASDAQ just did? Bottom wick still. A punch in the face would kill you. Yeah. You see the Chinese robot that broke Usain Bolt's record? Yeah. That's a terrifying sound. Did you listen to the sound of like the clap, 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 clap of the feet? You know how terrifying that would be to like be in battle and you hear that sound running towards you. And you look up, you see some sort of robot with red eyes just sprinting at you. Programs in some sort of like robot voice, Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. We need to create a Terminator laser gun. Heck yeah, man. $29,084. Come on, baby. Get us that 50. Did Nanos go live today? They were supposed to. I didn't hear anything else about it. Might have to see if I can start just throwing on there, see if it works. Need to give up gunpowder for EMPs. Yeah. Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. That's right, Salim. That's right. Come on, Dan. Jeez Louise. Oh, man. All right, we've got about half hour till the stream ends. So everything is still lining for up. Everything is still looking for this little move up into The high of the day here. It's a robot. You know what the unfortunate thing is about that in all sexuality? No, I just read Phil's message. Holy crap. In all seriousness. Oh my gosh. The bad part about these robots is that that's exactly what they're going to use this stuff for. They're not going to use it for prosperity. They're going to use it for war and sexuality. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I am totally Ron Burgundy. Call buying, put selling. That's all we got. I'm Ron Burgundy. Not everyone has a sexy voice and a lot of money. Oh my gosh. Would I play the SR flip for a bounce if we drop a little bit? Are you talking about the gold line? Yes, actually. Not to mention, I also think that's the 50% of this move, isn't it? Yeah, so the 50% of this move is right at that golden line, too. So, yeah, 100% I would. That's a good observation. You want to know what else is surprising? On chess.com, the amount of crap talking on the little chat window. I didn't realize that people who play chess talk so much crap. I was like, dude, we're playing chess. We're not arm wrestling. $29,080. S&P is doing the same. Kind of getting tight here. This is the weakest day of the week in terms of catalysts, news. Tomorrow we uptick a little bit more catalyst. Let's look at the calendar. By the way, if you are tier 2, I've posted my version and the refined version of the calendar on the weekly brief. Tomorrow we have core PCE GDP, durable goods. It's going to be very crucial to look at those numbers. I'm sorry, that's Wednesday. Either way, Wednesday, those are very crucial numbers that you can start to look for keywords into the Jackson Hole. Tomorrow we have building permits, CB consumer confidence, new home sales. Not a lot, but still more than today. Of course, after the market ends on Wednesday, we have NVIDIA earnings. Thursday, we have the start of Jackson Hole initial jobless claims, and then continuing jobless claims. Friday, consumer PMI. Michigan Consumer Governor Walsh speaking, which will be a big event, and then payrolls. So today will be the last of the low volatility catalyst before the week starts cranking. I need to mute. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I am back. Still can't claim the 50. Still can't claim the 50. I'm going to look to re-enter off of the golden line at 29030. That would be a beautiful retest. Do I have any experience with London or Asian hours to advise someone like me if Asian time zones should focus on learning? Would I be equally profitable? Would I be equally profitable? I don't know. I have better success personally with London over Asian Open. Asian Open is hit or miss on terms of good setup for me personally. The only exception to that is the Sunday Open. When New York session, when the United States markets open on Sunday night, typically Asian Open gets a little bit more inflow. Not to mention also when HSI, when the COPSI, when all those Asian markets are blasting or getting wrecked big time in the overnight, then those will be good. I do better personally with the London Open. The 020300 mark gives a great opportunity, especially to the long side. If I had to choose between the two, I'd focus on London. Have Claude investigate your Discord connection. Why are we having more Discord issues today? I shall do so. Ooh, I wonder, does Discord have an API that I can connect Claude directly up to Discord? I need to look that up. Holy crap, they do. All right, nice. You can have it search for conflicts and stuff, and it'll turn it to your machine. I don't know. Okay. Options funding trades put on 14 DTE Jade Lizard and a 53-day DTE long put for hedge. I like it. All right, here comes red coming back over. Look for a defense at this level. This is the 50% of this move, and it's the retest of the liquidity. New resistance or prior resistance, new support. If they can confirm that support, that's a good long entry. By the way, your Discord channel has me bots blasting me with friend requests, all sorts of variations of your YouTube handle. Yeah. I have to delete them every day. I've definitely got to create... I started doing that, but I got to get it implemented, a bot that filters all that out. But I usually go in every morning and I delete all the bots. Once you add them as a friend, if you do, I can't stop them, but I can get them out of the server. Sorry to go back. Can you show us the high volume 1 minute on ES? Let's go take a look. I didn't do it on ES. I did it on NASDAQ, but let's take a look. Yeah. So ES had the same thing. The 944 candle was the high volume spike on ES. So for that one, that's where I would plot the support, and I'll make that red for ES. Now, we never actually retested that, but it would be right there, the bottom of the candle of 944. And for the NASDAQ, it's the same concept right here. The same candle, 944, the low. And that one was retested many times. Is it okay for the volume candle? Yeah, so when it comes to the volume, I don't care what type of candle it is. I just care where the volume comes in at. Because if you have a whole crap ton of red that goes into a support and then you have a high volume spike at the bottom, what does that tell you? That tells me, hey, we've got support coming on. Yeah, so volume, that's why I do the volume on the 1 minute and price action on the 5. Because 1 minute will confirm the earliest instance of volume to tell me where the support is or resistance or for the upside. And then the 5 minute will confirm the price action. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I signed up to the news website. Do you link it? You have to link your Discord with WAP. I can go in and verify. So if you signed up on the new website and you're still not seeing the new role, then that's because you haven't linked your Discord to that. That's okay. That's an easy fix. Claude is short from 70 on ES. Nice. Did you say there's a new TBT giveaway on WAP? Not on WAP, no. I have 2 giveaways on Twitter that I need to give away today. And then, yeah, we have the new competition too. No, yours is like, so if you look on your if you look on your portfolio, your roles, if you've got the tier 1 role, then you're good to go. That means you have the website. You're on the new website. You're good to go. If you don't have the tier 1 role and you've got the old yellow roles, then you're not on the new website. Now, the reason why some names are still red, even though you don't have the new roles, is because the 4-year badge is red, and it's causing the names to turn red, which was an oversight on my part. But yeah, I'll get everything squared away. And the 4-year badges don't give you access to anything. It just shows, hey, I've been here for 4 years, so which I appreciate. So NASDAQ hasn't come all the way down just yet to retest the 50. I'll be looking to play off this area on a retest. What's up, Logarithmic? How you doing? Does that make sense, $2? Okay, yeah, you got it. I got you. Yeah, sweet. Just getting back into it. I love it. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Where do I go to find the $1,200 thread? We got to get you on the new website first. So let me figure that out right now. While we're waiting. I'm just waiting for this one move. I can do this until then. Things are a little bit slow. It's fine. All right. That. All right, I see why. I'm going to shoot you a DM. All right, DM sent, Dr. Ferris. What do you make of the unconfirmed reports that Buffalo International Airport ran out of airplane fuel? I have no idea. My speculation is that would be very bad. The way the fuel infrastructure works with airports is not like we do at gas stations for cars. It's not like a big truck pulls up and fills up all these tanks. There's underground pipelines that run nationally. Like there's a pipeline that goes from like Texas to multiple cities that pump this gas directly to them throughout the country. So for that to happen, I don't know. Either there's an infrastructure problem where there's like a gas line they had to shut off, or if it's a supply issue, I feel like that would be bigger news because that's pretty intense. The amount of fuel that they actually use per day is unbelievable. Hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of fuel. And if there's a supply issue due to trade or tariffs or whichever, that's a pretty dang big issue. But we're starting to see a lot of warning signs here. Like what J-Dog just said. Yes, I've heard the same thing. There's massive diesel crunches coming, fuel crunches, and then we hear this stuff about major food shortages coming in 2027. So I do think there's major pain coming. We've been pulling up to the buffet and eating Las Vegas king crab and sirloins and freaking filet mignon here for the past 6 years, and with the stock market metaphorically. And you can't have one without the other. That's my main bearish thesis. You can't have one without the other. And we've been euphorically bullish now for 6 years. And we're starting to see a lot of cracks in the foundation here. We just bought like a brand new mansion, and we're walking in and we're seeing, there's a crack there. There's a crack there. There's a crack there. There's like 5 bottles of empty Jarritos sitting over there in the corner. Like, this ain't good. When you said you stop at 11, do you usually mean the exchange time or your own time? 11 o'clock Eastern time. So between 11 and 11:30 is pretty much when I shut things down in my trading. I used to work for a framing company back in college, framing houses, and like he had a crew of a couple of Mexican dudes on there, and those dudes would pound Jarrito after Jarrito. And that stuff is pure sugar. I don't know how they did it. It was like 100 degrees out, and they're just pounding sugar drinks. And then, of course, it would be Modelo after business hours. But it's like, dude, how do you do that? We have put buying here. We have call selling. Things have gotten a little bit tighter. We had a lot of morning fun, and then now it's kind of just drifting. We're going to have a great week. It's going to be a fun week. I'm looking forward to this week. Huh. It's interesting. Diabetes. Nancy Pelosi, BE, Bloom Energy. Topwicks. Remember today, listen, escuchen, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Scott Bessent is going to be coming online and talking about the savior of the bond market and some of the strongest Iranian sanctions in history. So we're going to be sanctioning Iran for the strongest in history is what they're saying. And then they're going to be pulling out a Tilly of the general fund to buy back bonds. Had to tune out for a bit. Looks like that 50 call was spot on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love the 50. Would we expect that to be bullish for TLT? Yes, sir. Maybe not immediately, But I do think we're starting to hear more vernacular from the jabronis at the power with the bond market. And I've been long bonds for a long time. Now, I'm not saying the long bonds is the golden play. I'm not saying long bonds is going to make you rich. It's not. It's going to make you a little money. But I've been long bonds for a long time, as you all know. And I think we're starting to see a lot of talk that is in line with the bonds starting to finally go back up. The problem is when the bonds start to go back up in a meaningful manner, that's the end of the show. That's the end of the fun for us, at least in the stock market. Unless you're a bear, then we're going to have a lot of fun. So on the long-term scale, I think having to save the bond market is going to end the stock market liquidity for the foreseeable future. And then, of course, we'll bounce once the storm passes. We'll bounce, and we'll be back to another 20-year rally, baby. 20-year rally. I just don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect because we could sell off, and from a 1929 stock market crash, we could sell off the same percentage and still be above where we were post coronavirus. I mean, so it's crazy how we've gotten. So what happens here? I don't know. You have the voice of a radio DJ? Really? Well, thank you. It's not the first time I've heard that. Were you a former professional trader or bank? No, sir, not at all. I was a United States Air Force pilot for 14 años. $20 we're up over 200% in 2 years. Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about percentage. I'm talking about 20-year bull market, like from 2008 until 2018 or 2020 or whatever. Which that wasn't 20 years, and you're a handsome devil? Not really. Not really. I've got a radio voice and a radio face. That's for sure. That's for sure. If you were a pilot in the fighter jet, surely your trading is a cakewalk in terms of, well, I'd like to think that a lot of my military trading has led to me being able to control my emotions because, you have to be able to control your emotions in the aircraft too. If you got an engine on fire, you can't be freaking out, flailing your arms all over the place. So I like to think that it does help. Your dad was an F-16 pilot. Very cool. Yeah, F-16 was not my platform, although I have done some time in F-16 just for side jobs, side training, but not as my actual AFSC. It's one of my favorite aircraft. One of my highlights of my life was being in that aircraft. It's fantastic. It made me regret my choices of aircraft. When I first joined the server in 21, my imagination was convinced you look like a young Robert Redford based on your voice. Yeah, that's I would catfish you fully. If me and you were going on our first date, you would be very disappointed when I walked in. Oh, man. Check, please. Jabroni Redford. Yeah. Your cousin was an AWACS pilot. Dude, those are awesome aircraft. Awesome aircraft. We can't do what we do in the battlefield without them. I just joined the channel. Can you share what the red line is at 28,976? I can, Milo. Go to the Uno, the 1 minute. Volume spike, the highest volume candle of the day, right there at 944, leads to the bottom of this candle right here, which is where I plotted that red line. And that tells me we have major support at 28,976. And if you switch over to the 5 minute, every single time we touch that line is nothing but bottom wicks right here. That's supportive. That's supportive. Now you will notice we had an even higher volume spike here at the open. I do not track the opening volume candle. It's always very high, so you can't include it into analysis because it's always that high. Thank you for your service to our country. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate you, buddy. Love the military. Thank you. It's hard to view what I did as service, though, because I enjoyed it so much. I didn't feel like I was serving. I felt like I was doing something that I was very blessed to do. The military treated me very well. Very well. Most of the time. Most of the time. We have put buying, call selling. We have 6 minutes till the London close. Have I ever flown an A-10? Negative. In fact, that is my top most favorite aircraft. I tried to get into the A-10 airframe early in my career. I couldn't do it. The problem is that the Department of Defense is fighting to actually retire that aircraft. But the military keeps pressing back and keeping it because of capability. So they're not really hiring too many pilots. They're only hiring as many pilots as they need to replace the retiring ones. They're not expanding. So it's very difficult to get into the A-10 program. And I tried, but I couldn't do it. So it's my favorite aircraft. Here comes more green. They did bounce just there. I was trying to get down to the 50 again to rebuy right here. This is the 50 right here at 2.5 and the retest, the SR flip. They didn't quite get down there, and that's unfortunate because I had an entry there. That's a firm, MN. We have liquidity at 29,150, 29,200, and 29,237. Was I actually in danger? Or did I face? No, I faced combat. Yeah, I've had many strikes. Many strikes. Many stories. If we ever go to the conference, we'll sit down and we'll have dinner. I'll tell some stories. We'll trade war stories with those who were served. It's good stuff. I have a level close to yours at 28,995, but it's based on measured order flow activity. Nice. I like it. Do you like to profile candles? When a daily candle's open, it's going to continue profiling from 4 hour previous week down to the 1 hour. Yes and no. So, I look at the opening candle for aggression, because they're going to go screaming for liquidity at the open where liquidity is to be found. That's why if we have a very quick red open, I like to immediately start looking to buy the dip because a huge liquidity pull lower at the open usually means there's a great buy the dip opportunity. And conversely, a massive green at the open typically means there's a good short opportunity coming. So because they're gunning for the liquidity, that's why. Now, does that always happen? No, but that's the thought process. What would a low volume opening candle indicate? And that has it's relative, of course. The opening candle is always going to be among the highest volume candle of the day. Whenever we get some sort of crazy move or news event, it'll be higher. So there'll be a candle higher. But normally that's it, among the highest or the highest. But relatively, yeah, we will have lower candles relative to the other candles of the open, simply because of environment. Now, if we have a very low VIX, no catalyst, price action is stagnant, yeah, we'll have a candle that's well open, relatively low than other ones, yeah. Nice, Majestic, well done, buddy. Iron Condor closed for 50% credit. I like it. Bitcoin's at 80,000. I hope that dude closed his position. Does anybody have an update on that? Did he close his position? Oh, big green. Dang it, they missed my stupid entry by like 5 points. You think that story was fraud? You think? Missed my entry by like 5 stupid points. 29,200. 29,237. Now, what does the past 2 days tell you about looking to buy the dip instead of shorting? 2 aggressive red opens in a row, 2 major bottom wicks in a row. All you got to do is wait for the opportune time to buy the dip, and then use a proper position sizing, and that'll trim up a lot of your losses in your trading system. Even if you miss a healthy short move, I have to recommend the average trader stops shorting and only buys the dip or buys the continuation. Give it a shot. If you're struggling, give it a shot. If you're successfully trading, whatever, do your thing. But if you're struggling, consider not shorting. You're up $500 in your eval, locking it down. Nice fours now. Gold's looking a little shaky. Oil is getting clapped all the way down. NASDAQ, high volume candle. That looks like another tape bomb. Yeah, that's some extreme. That's the highest volume candle of the day right there. Took over the first one. Right in. That was before the London close too. Thank you so much, OM. Just hit my target to pass my first eval. LFG. What's up, Burning Phoenix? I love it, buddy. The Phoenix has now been burnt, rising from the ashes and growing. The Phoenix is rising from the ashes, and you're going to take your first payout, baby. Let's do it. LFG. Are the options switching? They are switching. I wouldn't call it full throttle, but they're switching. They're call buying, put selling, and they're continued heading bullish, but I wouldn't say insanely bullish or something like that. Leslie calls blasting up 25%. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's looking at that one. How come your chart doesn't show your entry and exits as a regional? Yeah, so this right here is TradingView, which I don't have my brokerage link to it. I don't link any of my order execution to TradingView because I just don't like the security of that. So, you know. Do you move your lines based on that higher volume? Well, now that I do have a high volume top wick here at 1030, I do need to set a line based on my system here. Now, it doesn't mean that we have resistance and it's time to start shorting, because we're doing just fine of flagging up here at 29,130, and I'm bullish on the session. But that tells me, hey, we do have a supply there. And if they claim it, then that line can go away. If they would have claimed this line, that line would have gone away. But so far, we're doing what we always do, baby, which is buy the dip, go up. Up, up, and away, baby. Love it. What brokerage do you recommend I use? I'm completely new to trading futures. For newbies, Weeble's pretty good. I mean, you find yourself that's reliable if you're new. I personally use IBKR. IBKR is as close to a professional brokerage you can get. It's actually considered by some to be a professional brokerage. Instantaneous fills, completely customizable, absolutely incredible. The issue is that there are some higher fees when it comes to, depending on what you want to trade in terms of paying for data. If you want a completely free brokerage that's cheap, then, there's a bunch of them out there you can find. But if you've got, if you want to pay for the data, IBKR, in my opinion, is second to none. So, all right, y'all. That is the London close. I think we've done pretty well today. I think we've read price action pretty dang well. If you have any questions, please throw them in the DM. Let me know. Post them in the server if you want to do that. If you're on YouTube, consider liking and subscribing and come and hang out with us. We do this every single day. Otherwise, I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning for another fantastic session. Keep an eye, please, on Scott Bessent's secretary, his press conference at 2 p.m. Eastern today. I'll be paying attention to it myself. So, hope you have a good day. I'm out. See you.